Hello there, lovely ladies, and welcome to this time management and productivity masterclass. I'm so happy to be doing this with you, and I hope you all are keeping safe and you are working strong day by day wherever you are. Now, this is one subject that I really love to talk about because it's something that I personally have gone through and I keep going through daily, and I see how much it works for me and how it has worked for several other people with whom I've had the opportunity to share this. And so sharing this with you today is really an honor, and I hope you're going to make the most out of it. The very first thing I'm going to say is make sure you download your workbook. You have it handy, ready to follow and take action step by step. That's how this class is going to help you. And so before we get into the 5 steps I believe will help you up-level your productivity and scale your business in 2021, let me tell you a little bit about this class and how it came about. So when I left my 9 to 5, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. All right. I didn't know where I wanted to go. I just knew I wanted to do something else. I knew I wanted to help people. I wanted to empower women. I wanted to help women build confidence and help them stand out in their niche. But I didn't know how I was going to do that. And so when I left my 9 to 5 with no idea about where I was going to, what I was going to do next, I was struggling with so many things. You will agree with me that social media has a way of giving you so much information and so much value also that you might be at a point where you are so confused and you don't know which one to use. You don't know what's going to work for you when, how it's going to work for you, and even how you should use it. That was where I was. And so I began amassing freebies all over the place. I had so many email subscriptions, so many things that I had coming in, and things that I necessarily didn't need, and I kept amassing because I was trying to find out how I will do this thing that I know I need to do. And in the course of doing all this, I got so confused with the so many things that I received. So much information, so many steps, so many voices telling me what I ought to do, how I ought to do it, and when I ought to do it. And in the midst of all that confusion and overwhelm, I met an amazing lady who taught me these vital lessons I'm about to share with you. And when I began applying these steps I learned during her masterclass and her program, it was a program. When I began applying these steps, especially these very basic ones I'm going to be sharing with you, a lot of things changed. 1, I was able to figure out what kind of business I really want to do. 2, I was able to figure out the kind of people I want to be speaking to. 3, I was able to figure out the kind of services I want to be offering. And 4, I was able to learn how to manage my time so I could reach my results quicker. And so in that same year, I was able to set up my business. I was so able to register my business. I was able to organize my very first workshops. I was able to do a lot of things because of this strategy that this lady taught me. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you in the next few minutes. And like I said, please download your workbook because that's what's going to help you make the most out of this. It's action-based. When you begin to take the steps and begin to commit yourself to do those things, then you're going to see the results that you desire. So I can tell you without a doubt that time management is one of the biggest stressors when it comes to building or scaling a business. And that is something I noticed when most ladies joined the group. They kept saying their biggest stressor was time management and where to start and how to manage everything that they have going on in their businesses or in their lives at the moment. And that's one of the reasons why I want to share this with you, because I know it's going to help you. It's going to transform your life. It's going to give you the freedom that you're seeking. You're going to have the time to do all the things you want to do, and you're going to do them without this feeling of overwhelm and without stressing out. And so straight away, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 steps to take right now to up-level your business or your career, wherever you may be right now. But first up, I want to congratulate you for taking out time to watch this video, for taking out time, committing time to be part of this so you can get something that's going to transform your business. I want to congratulate you, and I want to encourage you to stick to the end, to give it a try and work on it and tweak it and make it work for you. All right? Proven strategies only work for those who do the work. When you don't do the work, you don't get the results. There is no quick fix. There is no magic. It is doing the work. Committing yourself, blocking out time to get this done. And so, implementing these strategies, I've learned, was one of the reasons, like I told you, that I was able to launch my business and do so many things. And one step at a time, your time management and your productivity will be on track. Now, that said, if you want to work smarter and not harder, then let's get to work. All right. The very first thing I want to talk to you about when it comes to time management is categorization. All right. When it comes to managing your time, be it as an entrepreneur, be it as a CEO, be it as somebody who is working for another person, even you're still in your 9 to 5, categorizing your time is very, very important. That's the first thing you need to get right. Every hour, every minute of your day is very precious. And your time, you need to figure out how to spend it, and you need to take note of how you're spending your time. You need to begin to note all those things that you do on a daily basis that are time wasters and the things that you do on a daily basis that are productive. Because when you have spent your 24 hours in a day doing things that are stressful and not productive, those 24 hours are gone. You will never get them back, and you will never have the opportunity to redeem. And so one of the ways you can do that is by categorizing your time. And the very first category is focus time. This is a time where you want to focus on working on your big goals, on your dreams, on the things that make your business tick, on the income generating activities. This is very important. Your focus time is that time where you want to be doing the things that are productive, the things that will generate income. That could be discovery calls if you're a coach like myself. That could be sending out leads to get, leads or lead magnets to get in leads, which you can nurture and convert to clients. That is preparing the courses or the offers or the services or the products that you have for your clients. These are the things you should be doing during your focus time. These are not moments you should spend doing the auxiliary stuff like the administrative work, social media, and all of that. No, these are not things you do during your focus time. During the focus time, you're doing things that will generate income. And if it's a business like mine, you are getting as many leads as possible and converting them to clients. You're getting on those discovery calls, you're getting into those DMs and chatting and concluding sessions with people who are your potential or your perfect or your dream clients. These are the things you should be doing during these hours. And your focus time should be the time during which you are the most productive. And so you need to note the times of the day when you are the most productive, and then you can begin to plot out your product or your income generating activities at that particular moment. For example, I am very, very productive in the morning hours. In the mornings, I get a lot of things done. And so everything that has to do with my focus work, it could be a call with a client, a coaching call, it could be a discovery call, it could be a meeting, it could be whatever it is that is going to take me one step to achieving my goal, I put it in the morning. All right? I block that for the morning hours because I know that is when my productivity is high. So I focus in the mornings for my meetings and all those things because that's what's taking my business forward. And so I'm going to ask you to write in your workbook, what time do you think you are the most productive, and what time can you set aside each day or each week or whatever as your focus time. Do that in your workbook right now. And then we're going to move to the next time, which is administrative time. Now, these are the items or the stuff you are obliged to do, whether you like it or not. All right? These are those things that you really have to do. You need to take care of them. Paperwork, your tax, your accounting, whatever it is, you need to take care of them. But the difference is they are not going to take your business forward in the sense that they're not going to generate income. They're not going to apply, or they're not going to contribute to your monthly or annual or quarterly income goals. They are not going to contribute to that, but they are important. And so you need to plot out time to do these things. You need to plot out time to do all this administrative stuff. If you need to go to an office to get paperwork done, you need to plot out time to do this. If you need to go to the tax office to sort out your tax, you need to do that. If you need to go to the registrar to register your company, you need to do that. Every administrative thing, anything that is administrative in nature, you need to plot out time. You have to do this, all right? And if you're just starting off, then it is very important you do this, because you might not be able to take on extra hands, okay? You might not be able to employ people who can do that for you, and so you won't be able to delegate. You have to do a lot of things by yourself before you get staff as you grow. That's what happened when I started. When I started growing my businesses, I didn't have any franc to recruit anybody, and so I had to do all the things myself. And so for me to do that, I had to make sure that my time was well planned and well managed, so things don't conflict and I don't get overwhelmed with the too many tasks. For example, when it comes to administrative stuff, I usually put them later on in the day, not in the mornings. After I'm done with my meetings, say about 2 p.m. from after midday, I can now handle this administrative stuff. I can go to the offices, I can talk with the tax consultant or the tax expert, I can talk with the person that's going to help me do these administrative things, I can research the different things I want to research, but that was doing time set aside for that and not the focus time. So I don't mix things up. So I don't use productive time when I could be really serving clients, time when I could be doing transformative work, and I spend it doing administrative tasks. Okay, so it's important for you to do that as well. So I'm going to ask you, what are the tasks in your day that require administrative time? Please write that out in your workbook. And if you don't know what these are, I would advise that you take time to study how your days usually go. To study each day, to note which are the hours of the day you are productive, and then plot those as your focus time. And then look at the hours of the day when you're less productive, and you can commit those hours to doing administrative stuff, and then write it out. So you could take maybe a week to study all of these to get the pattern right. That's what I did. I had to study over a period of a week and more, so I could know the patterns of my day and how I work and how I function, to be able to note these times out. And so the very third kind of time you need to also know is sacred time. This is also very important. These are the tasks that are sacred to you. These are the things that you can't trade for anything in this world. These are the things that you want to ensure that you make sure you do them daily, because they are things that apply and affect you personally. They affect and they have an input, a positive and a huge input on your output, on your productivity. And so these are the times you don't joke with. For example, I have my time for prayer, for meditation, for study, for journaling. I don't joke with this, because this is the time where all the ideas and all the things that come to me, I think over them, I ponder over them, I work on them, and I write out all those ideas that come to my mind as I meditate and as I ponder. Okay, and that's my morning routine. Those are things that I can't trade, because it's sacred. It is what sets the tone, it's what sets the pace, and so I can't take it for granted. And also, there is time with my family. That is very sacred. I can't trade that. I can't take the time that I could be spending with my husband and maybe family and doing things as a family, and then I take it and I'm doing administrative stuff, or I'm doing focus work, that is doing a client call or something. This is sacred to me. I value it. I cherish it, all right? I cherish these moments, and so I want to spend this time doing those things, and I'm not going to trade it for anything. And so in this plot, this aspect on the workbook, you need to write out what task in your week requires sacred time. What are the things that you know you can't trade for anything in the course of the week? And you plot it there. Like I said, mine is my time with my family. Mine is my time with myself, my morning routine, my meditation, my prayers, my exercise, and all those things. Those are things that I can't trade for anything. I don't trade them for anything. All right? Those are sacred hours. Those are sacred moments, because they're moments that I spend, one, with myself, to build myself, to inspire myself, to encourage myself, to grow, to think deep, and to come out with things that are really authentic and transforming. And also these are moments that I spend with my family to talk about things, to have time together, to have a meal together, to hang out together, to celebrate, to do whatever together. These are times I don't trade with anything else because it's precious, it's sacred. All right, so you should do that also in the workbook. So the very first thing you need to do to begin to increase or manage your time and increase your productivity is categorization. You need to categorize your time and put all those aspects that fall under each so that you can adequately spend your time. And the second thing you need to do, as a second tip, is batching. All right, this is something that I talk about a lot because it has helped me. Why? Because I am multifaceted. Okay, I am what they will call a multi-passionate. I do so many things. I have more than one business. I am working on. I'm building and I'm running, and with all these so many things, I have an organization. I have so many things. I have humanitarian work. I have associations that I belong to. I have the church where I am very active. All these things, put them together, it can be so overwhelming when you don't really know how to go about it, when you don't know what to put when, how to do things, and which things you can do so that you can have time and you can really do these things without feeling overwhelmed. Okay, batching does not have to feel overwhelmed. Batching is simply putting together those tasks that are similar in nature and that require the same thinking pattern or the same exercises or the same routine, and doing them together before moving to another thing. All right, multitasking is something that I did in the past until I met Anna, who taught me about batching. Batching is not multitasking. Batching is focusing your energy on one task, on one kind of task, until you are done before you move to the next thing. It is not dispersing your energy. It is not I'm on a client a call, and then at the same time I'm trying to read an email, and then at the same time I'm trying to respond to something on social media. That is what they call multitasking. And when your energy is dispersed, you don't get results. Your client does not get your attention, and it is felt. The email, you don't read it thoroughly, and so the response you give will not be appropriate because you're distracted with listening to another person. And also social media, you're reading everything and you're typing at the same time. You discover that there's sort of a lot of mistakes, or maybe you typed the wrong thing, probably what your client was saying. That's what you're typing in your mail because your mind is all over the place. All right, so what batching does is that it helps you to solve this and sort this. And so the very first thing I'm going to ask you to do in your workbook is, there is a space that I've made available. What I want you to do is take the next few minutes and think about the things that you do on a regular basis and just brain dump them in the space provided in the workbook. All right? Just brain dump everything you know you do regularly. For example, I know I have a morning routine regularly. I get up every morning, I exercise every day, I pray every day, I journal every day, I cook every day, I work on my products every day. I get on a client call almost every day. I produce or I design things and stuff every day. I reply to emails almost every day. There's social media. All those things that you know make a part of your day. Regular basis does not necessarily mean every day, but something that in a week you could do 3 to 4 days in a week. There are things that you do often. Brain dump them in that space, and then the next thing I want you to do is look at that list and begin to circle the things that you can batch together, that you can put together. Begin to look at things that you can do at the same time without necessarily dispersing your energy or distracting yourself. Because remember, psychology says that when you are working and you get distracted, it's going to take a good amount of time for you to refocus on that task. And at times, you just lose focus and you just say, I'm going to do that another day. I can't seem to focus on it anymore. Why? Because at some point you were distracted, maybe by another thing. Maybe somebody walked in, maybe a phone call came in, maybe an email popped up and you saw it and you said, oh, let me just look at it real quick. And when you looked at the email and you got carried away with it, and when you came back to the work that you were doing, you realized that you couldn't flow anymore because the distraction just took you away. All right? So to solve this, I want you to look at all the tasks that you have listed and begin to look at the things that you can put together, okay? You could decide to put together things that are similar in characteristics, things that are similar in implementation, things that are similar in how you get it done. Okay, for example, I'm going to give you an example. You can batch, for example, on my day, on my regular things, I can put creating content. I could put sending out emails. I could put responding to messages on social media. I could put all those things. And so what I do is I could batch content creation, email responding, and maybe social media interaction in one place. All right, I could batch them together as tasks that I can get done at the same time. Why? Because it requires the same kind of energy flow. It requires the same kind of thinking pattern, okay? When you're creating content, you're thinking, you're writing, all right? When you're responding to mails, you are thinking, you are writing. When you're responding to inquiries on social media or writing about things on people, you're thinking, you're writing. And so it calls on your creative juice. It calls on your relational skills and all of that. And when you do these together, you find that you easily flow from one task to the other, one task to the other. Why? Because the pattern is the same. What you need to do these things are similar. And so you can move from one to the other without overwhelm, without stress, without having to take time to refocus before doing it. Okay? I hope you get the example. And so I want you to do the same for yourself. And when you have put these things together and you've circled the tasks that you think you can do together, now you can go to the next part on your workbook. I don't know if you can see mine, it's not so clear. You can go to the next part on your workbook, and then you can begin to fill them out here. All right, you can begin to fill them out. For example, if you were to batch social media interaction or engagement and content creation and emails sending, you batch them into one place. The very first thing is you have to write the ideal hour of the day if you want to do it daily or if you want to do it weekly. It's up to you. You can batch your task weekly, daily, monthly. It's up to you. But I do it daily because there's some things that really need to be done on a daily basis. And so, for example, I can put write an email, respond to emails. I can put create content. Okay, I can put social media, respond, and all those things. And under each of this box, you need to write out, first of all, the ideal time of the day or the ideal time of the day you're going to be doing all of this. Remember, I told you there are some tasks that are not income generating, right? And so you need to find out, first of all, what kind of task am I batching together? Is it task that falls under administrative? Does it fall under focus, or does it fall under secret? So you will know the time of the day to put it. For example, all of social media and all of these emails and stuff, it falls under administrative task for me. And so I'm going to be putting that sometime in the day. I'm going to put in maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I'm going to put it maybe 1 to 2 p.m. or maybe 12 to 2 p.m. daily. That's what I'm going to be doing. I might not do all of them at this every day, because there might be days where I don't have emails to respond to. There might be days where I don't have content to create because maybe I'd created them already, and maybe it's just social media. And okay, when that time comes, I know, okay, what's on my list? It's social media, and I go and I get that done and I get out of there and I move to the next thing. All right. And so if you're batching, for example, another thing you could be batching is your household chores, okay? Going to the dry cleaners, going to the market, cooking, shopping, all those things, you can batch them together because it entails you going out of the house. You're going somewhere, okay? So you can move from shop to shop. You could buy all in the same shop, You can buy all in the same shop. You could go to the dry cleaners, you drop off, you move from the dry cleaners, you go to the shop. These are tasks that entails that you walk out of your home or out of your office and then go and do them. So why not put them together so you don't have to go to the dry cleaners in the morning and then later on in the afternoon while you're working, you need to stop working because you need to go out and go to the market to go shopping. It's distracting. So why not batch all these things together and get them done all at the same time? And so when you're coming back, you know what you needed to do outdoors have been taken care of, and so you don't need to think about or worry about those anymore. All right. So that's another thing you could batch. And when it comes to your productivity task, you can also decide to batch your morning hours. You're going to batch, okay, I'm going to do my client calls from this hour to this hour, and you're going to say, okay, after client calls, maybe for the past next 1, 2, 3 hours from 8 to maybe 10 or maybe or so. And then the next thing I want to do at 11 is maybe I want to schedule a meeting with a client. All right, schedule a meeting with a client. Client calls could be online. Client calls could be face-to-face meeting. Client meetings could be face-to-face or online. You schedule that and you put that in that frame and you batch them so you can get them all done within that time frame and together. Okay, so I hope you're seeing what batching does. It just puts things together for you and you're able to work knowing that you won't get distracted until you get it done. And when you do that, you realize that you're much more productive because you really see results. Your mind is focused on one task and you are committed to doing it, and until you finish it, you don't move to the next. That is something you must promise yourself. You must commit yourself to that. And until I finish doing this, I'm not moving to the next thing. And so you do it successively. And at the end of the day, you will realize that you've been much more productive than if you had to spend all your time jumping from one task to the other, going out and coming in and entering and going out and talking to this person and not talking to this person and calling this person and writing this and going to social media and coming out. And your mind will be so overwhelmed and so overcrowded that at the end of the day, you won't see any result. All right. So I encourage you to batch. When you batch those time, you're going to put the time you need to do each task. You're going to total the time. You're going to put the finish line. What will it look like when you're done doing this task? How would it feel like? What phrase will get you? What phrase will you use to explain that this is what you've done? All right. It could be that maybe you want to, for example, your writing task. You say, okay, get 10 emails sent out. That could be the finish line. So when you've had 10 emails sent out, you know you're done. You're done with that task. Okay, get on 2 client calls, get on 3 client calls. When you get those 3 client calls done, you know you're done with the task that you batched for that day. Okay, and then you need to put your ideal times and the day. As I said, you're going to plot them side by side in your worksheet. You need to stop and do that before you move on. It's very, very important. It's very important. Each step, you make sure you stop and do it before you move on to the next step. And if you don't get it right, remember, I'm here. You can set your questions and your preoccupations, and I'm going to help you unblock those things so you can do this adequately. And then the next tip, remember, we started with categorizing. You categorize your time, your focus time, your administrative time, your secret time, and then we moved on to batching. You want to batch your tasks together, similar tasks that you can do together so your productivity can be maintained. You can be highly productive at each time and to avoid distractions. All right, that's the second thing. And the third thing you need to do, which is so important to me, is you need to set a morning routine. I know many people will say, oh, I'm not a morning person, I am not that, but let me tell you, this is going to so help you. This is going to make the difference in your business and in your life. If you can come up with a morning routine, that's going to set the pace for your day. Because even if you say you're an afternoon, you're an evening person, if you don't start the day right, you won't even get into that afternoon schedule or your evening schedule with the right frame of mind. And you are not going to be productive. And so your morning routine is very important for you to get your task for the day done. All right, so I'm going to encourage you, because one of the biggest mistakes I see, and it's something that I have done for a very long time and I've trained myself to stop doing it. I still fall a victim to that, okay? It's not like you get over it overnight. No, excitement just gets you, and before you know, you're catching yourself and you're saying, hey, no, I shouldn't be doing this. Is when we get up from bed, the first thing we do is we open our emails and we open our Facebook or our LinkedIn or our Instagram pages, and we want to start reading comments and commenting and chatting and responding and everything. Oh no, that's a very big mistake, because that can either make or mar your day, and most of the time it just takes you off, right? Because you begin to see so many things, people are saying so many things, and you just get caught up in the conversations and in the excitement on social media, and before you know, you've spent the whole morning, about 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. on social media. My God, what am I doing on social media all day? Oh my God, you even forget the meeting that you had, because social media is very, very addictive. All right, so what our advice is, you need to spend your mornings wisely. Okay, all right, morning routine is what saved my life. It saved my life. So now this is what my morning routine looks like. I've put it out in the workbook so you can also be inspired by it to set yours. Mine is in order of priority. The very first thing is prayer and meditation. All right, you might not be Christian like me. Whatever faith, whoever you believe in, whatever you're into, meditation, whatever, that should be the first thing you do in the mornings. I would encourage you to do that. All right, my day starts with prayer and meditation. 5 a.m. my alarm goes off, and when I step out, or when the alarm goes off, I put my feet on the ground and I step out of bed. And I begin my prayer, my meditation. It could be by listening to some inspiring teachings. It could be by listening to some inspiring, worshipful praise music that elevates my soul, that calms me down and elevates my soul, that takes me deep into myself so I'll be able to commune. All right? It could be reading scriptures, it could be reading devotions, whatever it is. But morning meditation to me is very important because it is during this moment that you are attuned to receiving ideas and thoughts that can advance your business, that can transform your life. All right, I encourage you to also do that. And the second thing is exercise. Hey, a fit body. I learned it. There was a time when I really, really neglected my body, and the weight of my body dealt with me. I mean, I couldn't even carry myself anymore, and I had to put myself to this routine of exercising every morning. You don't need to go out, okay? I have tested it and it works. You can spend 10 to 25 minutes every day in your house in front of a DVD and you will get fit. I am a proof of that. You will get fit. You don't need to step out of your home to go to a gym, to go to, there's so many DVDs and so many instructions and instructors out there right now that can help you. And so exercising should be it. If you want to do just walks, fine. There are indoor walks, just walk. If you want to jump rope, if you want to do high impact, that's what I do most of the time. Do it. It's up to you, but make sure there's exercising in your morning routine. It helps you just a couple of minutes. It could be 5 to 10 minutes or to 7 minutes. Just stretch your body. Let your body feel good at the end of the day. And then the third thing is journaling. You know, after praying, meditating, and even when exercising, your mind is going through so many things, right? You're thinking about so many things and thoughts begin to spring forth. And when those thoughts begin to spring, your journal should be somewhere around, all right? You sit down and you write them out. You write them out and you put down those thoughts, because if you don't, you're going to forget them. And when you forget them, it's going to take a while before they come back, because those inspired moments are not things that just happen on a daily basis, you know, randomly. They come when you are in a particular frame of mind, and so you need to be ready to sit down and journal and write them out. I have so many books in which I write. You'll notice I have so many notebooks all over the place. I'm always writing out things, all right? This is me journaling about 2021 already. This is me journaling about stuff I want to share with people. This is me writing about the things I want to share. When the thoughts and the ideas just come to my mind, I write about it. You should have something. You should have something like this. This is mine. You should have something like this that you can use and journal. It could be physical, it could be digital, whatever thing you choose to do it with, okay? It's up to you, but make sure you have a journal where you note those thoughts that come to your mind when you are spending a sacred time. You remember what you see why I said this is sacred time for me and I can't trade it for anything, right? This is my sacred time. And so during these moments, a lot of things happen. And also, I can read a book or I can listen to a book. All right, during the same sacred time, I can listen to a book. There's so many people that you can listen to, inspired people that can just inspire you to take action during the day or during the coming days or weeks. That's something you can also put in your morning routine. Also, what I also put in my morning routine is chores, my home chores. After I've done all these things, you see these things, they don't take too long. By 7 a.m., I can assure you I am done. And since I have to start working by 8:30, what I do is I spend the next 1 hour, 30 minutes taking care of my house chores, just so they don't distract me. They don't distract me when I get to work. And this by house chores, I mean basic things like maybe cleaning up dishes, tidying up the house around just to make sure everywhere is neat and tidy before you sit down to work, so you don't have untidy things around you and all of that. Just putting things in the laundry basket, whatever it is that you could just do in the morning hours just to put things together and get that done, and then so you can focus on your work. So you don't spend time when you lift up your eyes and you want to turn and you remember that there are dirty dishes in the sink and you're like, oh God, who is going to wash those dishes, and you distract yourself. No, you get that done during that frame of time. I do that during that frame of time. So when I sit down to work, I am all work. And then you see the last thing on my morning routine is work, because I am most productive in the morning. So my focused time finds itself inside my sacred time, all right? Because work is sacred to me. Transforming lives is sacred to me. It's very important. And so this falls in that time frame so that I can be able to be productive and produce results that are going to change people's lives. So tell me, you need to try adding some of these practices in your daily routine. And you don't need to take all of them, all right? If you haven't started doing any of this, I will encourage you to try doing maybe one each day and see how that works for you, all right? You could try maybe on the first day and say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try exercising in the morning, and then you try for a couple of days or 1 or 2 or 3 days and see how that works for you. Does it really work for you? Is it something you want to include in your morning routine? And if it is, please mark it as something you want to put in your morning routine. If it's prayer, meditation, reading, journaling, just try one of them. Maybe each week, a week, try one and see how it works for you, and see which one really, really is productive and really yields results for you. And then you put it in your morning routine. But before you add another, I want to challenge you, okay, to make the morning hours your focus hours. I know, like I said before, a lot of people might say, I am not productive in the morning. I'm not a morning person. That's what a lot of people say. But I would encourage you to put your focus time in the morning, and you will see how it's going to be different for you, how it's going to transmit and translate into productivity for your business and for everything in your life. You're going to see it and you're going to note it yourself, all right? And so, you don't want to focus on your business thing in the night. Just imagine going on a client call at night with somebody, calling somebody at night to talk business. And maybe for that person, that is the hour where they're spending with their family. They're sitting at home, probably they're come back from their shops or whatever they have, and they're getting ready to have dinner or spend time with their family. And then because they are working with you, they are obliged to work at that particular hour because that is the hour you said they should work with you. All right, they would agree because they need your services, but somehow it's going to play on their families and a lot of things. And you not want to be the one that will have a client on call who is distracted, kids running and we're hungry, want to eat, where are you, and all of that. You wouldn't want to have that kind of call, right? So I encourage you, try to make the morning hours your focus time, and you will see the difference in your business. And to use your morning hours effectively, this is something you must do. 1, have a consistent time when you wake up in the morning, okay? Like I said, I have my alarm set, all right? I have my alarm set, and even my phone. If you look at my phone, I'm going to show you something on my phone. If you look at my phone screen, it will tell you downtime on my phone is till 8 a.m. All right? Downtime on my phone is till 8 a.m. So my phone and apps and everything, they are all down until 8 a.m. If you open any application on my phone, you're going to see how all of them are dark, downtime. If I click on it, it's going to say time limit, all right? They'll tell me to permit them to give me, if I want to use like 15 minutes because maybe I'm tired or something, they're going to say, okay, let me give them a couple of, I've reached my time limit. I can't spend time on social media anymore. I can't spend time on this. And so if I want to do this, then I need to unblock the time limit. And the process, you're like, but why do I really need to do this? And you say, okay, I'm going to do it when it's time. Okay. So you set those things that are going to permit you to maintain and to respect discipline, what you've set as your routine. So set a consistent time in the morning. My alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and it goes off earlier in this season because I have extra things I'm doing earlier. So my alarm this season goes off at 4 a.m. All right. So set an alarm for yourself and say, hey, 5 a.m. I'm going to be out of bed. 6 a.m. I'm going to be out of bed. It's up to you. All right. It's not something that you just do overnight. You try and see which one works for you. And when you get the consistent time, plan something exciting to do in the mornings. Okay. Plan something exciting to do. So when your mind thinks of getting up, it remembers that there's some exciting thing that you have to do. In fact, your entire being is awake at night, just looking forward to that. All right. For example, when I planned that I was going to do this video, all night I was just pondering about it, thinking about it, and excited to get up in the morning because I want to do this. I really want to do this. I want to start off the new day because I want to get to the time where I begin to do this. All right. So do that. And also, very important, go to bed early. All right. It is advised to have at least 8 hours of night's sleep. And that's what I do. I sleep for 8 hours, except in the season where I have to do some extra things to really get some work done. But normally I sleep for 8 hours. And so there are hours that I've trained myself in such a way that when those hours begin to come, my body begins to shut down. My eyes begin to call, sleep just starts taking over, and I know it's time for me to go to bed. And you should do same, all right? These are some hacks that can help you transform your morning to your focus time or to your productive time. Get up early, plan something exciting for the morning. It could be your morning routine, yeah, your focus time work, and then go to bed early. You do this, it's going to help you make the most of your morning hours. All right. So think of how you can revamp your morning routine beginning tomorrow. All right. From tomorrow, what do you think you can add to your morning routine from the things I have spoken? These things are also listed in the worksheet, so you can look at them and choose the one you want to try, and then write it down. What time will you wake up in the morning, and what will be your very first morning routine? And then don't procrastinate. Don't keep it for another day. Just say, tomorrow I'm going to do this. And if you need to set the alarm, set it immediately. If you need to put some things off because you want this to happen, do it immediately. Don't say, oh, I'm going to take care of that later on. After all, it's tomorrow. No, do it now. All right, do those now, and then you'll see how it's going to come. Fourth thing I'm going to be sharing with you, remember we've gone through 3, right? You need to categorize, you need to badge, and you need to make a morning routine. The fourth thing is you need to focus on income generating task. Have you ever heard of the Pareto principle, the 80-20? Right? That says the 20% of your input creates the 80% of your results. So it's not about doing too much. It's about doing the 20% that's going to create that 80% result. And the things that are going to create that 80% results are your income generating tasks. And so you need to focus on them. You need to spend a lot of time with them. But now when you're starting off a business, the problem may be, or the challenge may be, you can't employ at the moment because you're just starting. And so you need to do the things we already set up to make sure that you can spend your time. You need to categorize your time. So some of these tasks that are not income generating will fall in their own category. And the focus time will be the time when you focus on this income generating. And that's where the bulk of your creative and your productive hours should go. All right? We're not talking about you spending 24 hours, 12 hours, or no. We're talking about you spending 5, 6 quality hours that is going to generate income. That when you are done, you know this is going to produce the results. It's going to produce the money that you can use to delegate tomorrow. It's going to produce the money that you can use to send out, do some of those employed people who can help you do some of those things that are taking the other part of your time, so you can have the freedom to spend the time with your family. All right, so that's what you must do. So what task can you do right now that's going to move you closer to your goal? That's the question you should answer in your workbook. What are the tasks that you know if you do right now, they're going to move you closer to your goal? Me, for example, is getting on discovery calls with clients, getting on sales calls with clients. Those are tasks I know are going to move me closer to my goal of making the income that I want, to get the freedom that I am seeking. And so those are the kind of tasks I'm going to list there. And for my other business, which is a product-based business, selling 10 pairs of shoes per week is going to take me closer to my goal. So sales is very important. Pitching my products on social media to individuals, taking them to shops and all of that. Those are the things that are going to get me closer to my income goals. And so if whether you're a service business like myself or you're in products like myself as well, these are the things you need to start putting here. What are the tasks that you need to do that are going to get you closer to that goal? All right? I already gave you an example of mine as a service. It's getting clients. It's getting potential clients on a call. It's getting potential clients into my email list. It's getting... Those are the things that are going to get me closer, because when I get these things, I can now nurture them and convert them to paying clients. So these are tasks that are going to get me closer to my goal. All right? So you need to do that in your workbook. And to be able to do this, you need to limit your priorities, right? And this is how. Instead of making a list of 15 things you need to do, that is overwhelming yourself again. Remember, I say you want to learn how to work smart, not hard. That is overwhelming yourself again. You just need to leave 5 to 6 top priorities you need to get done. All right? You list 5 or 6 priorities you need to get done per week, not per day. I'm talking about top priorities. All right? Top priorities. And now, when you have listed these top priorities in this category, you don't move to the second until the first is done. So I'll ask you to list this task. Priorities, top priorities. I'm not asking you to list the actions you need to do to get this task done. I'm asking you to list the task. Remember, I said I need to get 5 clients. That's what I need to do. That's the priority. That's the task. How I'm going to get these clients are the action steps I will have to take. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the task. What do you need to get done? I need to make $5,000 this week. How do I want to make $5,000? I need to get 5 clients this week, for example. All right? How that is going to happen, the steps I'm going to take to make this happen is different. So I'm talking about listing the top priorities for your week. Now, when you list it, it's in the workbook, all right? You're going to list out the top priorities on the workbook, and then you're going to list out what are your administrative tasks for the week. We already spoke about administrative tasks, so you already know. So when you list your top priorities, the next thing is you want to list your administrative tasks so that you can know what you need to get done in that week administratively, right? So the last tip I'm going to share with you is your weekly review. This is amazing and it's very, very important, I can assure you. You know, when you have gone through your week, you don't just want to jump into the next week. You want to make sure you sit down and review your week and then plan for the next week. All right? You want to make sure that you are on schedule. You want to make sure that you are following a well set out pattern that is going to generate income for you at the end of the day. And so some of the tips I can share with you when it comes to reviewing is, first of all, you need to review what you did last week in order to plan for what's going to come up for the next week. So you need to sit down and look at the things that worked and look at the things also that didn't work, and then look at the things that you will need to continue implementing because of the results it's generating, and also look at the things that did not work and you figure out what happened, what went wrong, so you can work on it. Or if it's something that you totally don't know how to use or doesn't work for you, so you can put it off and focus on the things that work for you. That's the first thing. And then what you do again during your weekly review is that you create your focus priority list for the week. This is super important because when you're able to create your focus priority list for the week, you are able to clearly come up with a strategy on what you want to do. You already know beforehand how your week is going to look like, the actions you're going to take, the steps you're going to take to generate the income that you need. Whatever content you'll be putting out, whatever interview you'll be carrying, whatever step you'll be taking will be all converging to that point where you get clients that can pay you for what you are doing. And so it's very important to do this. And then the third thing you want to do, especially if you have the means, is to delegate your administrative task. When you're planning your week, look at those tasks that you can delegate, those tasks that you know will take your time. But if you had the means, you can delegate to other people. It could be to a social media manager, it could be the content creator, it could be whichever person you want to choose to delegate and whichever task you want to delegate. Make sure you do this during your weekly review. This is where you plan it. This is where you decide what you are going to do. You know, these are the tasks that you don't want to be doing during the week, all right? These are the tasks you don't want to spend time doing. You don't want to spend a lot of energy on them. It might be designing your social media content. It might be, you don't want to spend a lot of time doing that because it takes a lot of time and you don't have much time to focus on what you ought to be doing. You can choose to delegate those tasks if you are able to. These are the things you should take into consideration when you're doing your weekly review. It's going to help you. And so that is it. Those are the things you're going to fill out in your work week. What are the tasks or what are the things that you're going to be considering during your weekly review? And then you are ready to take action. It's very important. You're ready to take action. I want you to implement these steps and then give us feedback on how it worked for you, what worked for you or what didn't work for you, so we can help you clarify those doubts and those gray areas so you can be able to use these effectively. They worked for me. The lady who taught me, it worked for her over and over, and she's having millions of women all over the world being transformed by this simple, yes, but very effective strategies. Like I said, it's not about working hard, it's about working smart. And for you to get results, you need to do the work. Even if it's a proven strategy, if you don't do the work, you won't see the results. So I encourage you all to get to work. We're coming to the end of this year and we want to be as productive as possible, especially with all that happened in 2020. We want 2021 to be different, but for it to be different, we need to do things in order. We need to do things with purpose, with intention. And that's why I decided to share this with you at this time of the year, and also to announce with you that I have my planner that's coming out. All right, I'm going to talk about it more later. For those of you who stick to the end of this video, you're going to hear this announcement. For those who don't stick, you're not going to hear it. I have my planner that's coming in, my plan with purpose, a 90-day planner, where these steps are applied daily. You can use it to apply these steps for yourself. It's an e-planner, because to get the digital version the printed version is going to take some time. We're working on that. But right now we have the e-version that's available that you can get for yourself and begin to plan these things we're talking about. Everything is made available for you, where you can write your priority tasks, where you can badge, where you can set your morning routines, where you can, all of that is available in the planner. You just need to use it daily to make these things happen for you. You can buy the e-copy and print it out and put it in a beautiful binder for yourself, and then use it. Why not? So if you are interested, let me know if you're interested in the planner, and we're going to talk about the details. Okay, I'm making it available first here in the group because I love you ladies so much. Later on, I'm going to make it available to every other person out there, but I wanted you guys to be the first beneficiaries of this planner at little or no cost. It's really at little or no cost. The cost is so minimal, but it's really going to make the difference in your life. You're going to have your trackers, you're going to have your planner, and again I add a bonus, which is something that's not found in planners, which is your branding. I help you figure that out at the beginning, because you can't be planning if you don't know who you are, what you're doing, who you're serving, and all of that. So at the beginning of the planner, I help you set that out, and I help you figure out your personal brand. I help you figure out your business brand, and then now I take you into the process of learning how to badge, and then I take you into the process of planning and executing your daily task. And then you have a good number of trackers. You can track your daily habits, you can track your activities, you can track your finances. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I'm going to be sharing that with you in the days ahead. I'm going to be sharing with you the content of the planner and how you can get it for yourself. But if you're interested, if you watch this video and you're interested, you just need to leave me a comment, and I'm going to make that available for you so you can download and print and begin taking action right now. I look forward to hearing from you ladies. I hope these tips that I shared with you helps you and makes the difference in your life. All right, this is me cheering to your success. This is me cheering to an amazing 2021. This is me cheering to amazing things that are going to happen in your life. Why? Because you are a strong, you are a unique, you are a purposeful, you are an empowered, and you are a resilient woman. You are a super woman. All right, I'll be seeing you around, and do take care of yourself, and love. Bye.